right, guys, today we're going to be making really fun tree houses. You're going to get to make them your own and make them really cool and unique. So what we're going to do to start is draw first with our pencil our design for our tree house. So I'm going to get out this little guide paper to kind of help you with those first few things, but then of course you're going to make this your own and make it really cool. You guys know that I'm going to start with a Sharpie so you can see it really well in the video. I would suggest you start with a pencil so you can erase any mistakes. So first thing you're going to do is make these two curved lines for your tree. Now it has it kind of off to the left side over here. If you want to do that, that's totally fine. You can center your tree or you can put it on the right side. It's up to you, okay? But start with that curved line for your tree. All right, so that's how you start. And then you start turning those little things into branches, okay? So I'm gonna make one kind of come up here and then come down and make a little V. I'm gonna make another one come up here. And you can see I'm not making it go straight to this one because I kind of want to make a few branches. So maybe this one will come off this way and come up here. And maybe this one comes up like that. So you can see how I'm kind of turning these into branches. There we go. So that is the top of my tree. And then I can add some jumping lines to be the leaves of my tree. Okay, now it's time to make the kind of like the base of our house. So this part that the house kind of has to sit on. And you can make it come off just one direction or you can make it come off both directions. I think since I put my tree pretty centered, I think I'm gonna make this come off both directions. So let's see, let's put a straight line here and then stop and have it continue through. And then like that. Perfect. All right, now I can start actually drawing my house. So I think the roof is going to be up here and maybe it gets kind of hidden. Oops, maybe it gets kind of hidden behind these leaves a little bit. I kind of wish I would have made this V line for my tree come down way lower so then I would have had a lot more room for my house, but that's okay. So I'm gonna add the sides of my house and I like to make those come in a little bit further in than the roof and the little like edge, so then it kind of, it's not just straight all the way down, it adds a little more interest. I'm gonna add a big old window up here, but you can only see part of it because it's kind of getting covered by that tree. It's looking pretty cute. Then I need a little door. And what's great about this, guys, is I also have this little idea sheet with all kinds of ideas for details that you can add to your treehouse. You can look at these, you can use these as inspiration for your project, or you can come up with your own really cool stuff. I know some of you might want to add a slide or all kinds of fun stuff. This one has a tire swing. This one, I think this is a pool at the bottom. Like, ladder goes down into the pool. This one has some really cool stuff. So feel free to make these really interesting and fun. I'm gonna add some more windows over here. It's looking really good. So another thing you might want to do is see how all of these have little like wooden pieces that kind of help support the treehouse. You do kind of want to do something like that so it looks a little more realistic. Because tree houses don't just float in trees, they have stuff that hold them up, right? And I kind of, now that I'm looking, I'm kind of loving this one. So maybe I'll make this come off a little bit farther and make kind of a little lookout spot. That's really cute. And then I definitely want a ladder hanging down. There's all kinds of different ladders here. I think I want mine to be, let's make it like this. So now I'm kind of drawing the bottom of that tree. And trees aren't just flat lines at the bottom. They kind of have some roots that go into the ground at different places. So kind of keep that in mind. Then I can draw some stuff down here. Maybe some little hills. Maybe some bushes down here. Just adding things in my picture to kind of fill up my space. Adding little tufts of grass down here. You could add little flowers. You could add rocks, right? Little pond. Totally up to you, right? These are looking really cool already. Add a little doorknob. And I think what I also need to do is add some kind of like texture to my roof. And then maybe I can write a little sign up here. There's like a perfect amount of space right here above my door. This is looking so great. I added a little art clubhouse. And then I love that idea of like a little hole in this tree. And maybe I'll add some texture on the tree so it just looks a little more interesting. You can see some of these examples over here have texture on the tree to make it look a little more realistic. Oh my goodness, I'm loving it so much. So of course, you can continue to add really fun details, but this is the end of day one. Make sure you go over all of your pencil lines with a black marker, a black Sharpie, or a black crayon. And then tomorrow we will add color to these. All right, guys, today we're going to be adding color to these. I'm going to do kind of a fun little technique that you guys might have seen before that will just add a little more interest when I color these in. So what I like to do is use both crayons and markers to add color to these, and I'll show you what I mean. So first, I like to outline whatever space I'm going to color with the marker. And I'm going to do that to all my spaces first before I use my crayons. I'm making sure to outline neatly, staying in those lines. Okay, so now I've outlined all of my spaces with marker first, and then I go back with my crayons and fill in those spaces with my crayons. And that just makes each of those spaces pop even more. So let me show you. If you make sure to color neatly, not scribbling, and fill in each space completely, it ends up looking really, really cool. Because there's kind of like this bold outline of each space. All right, guys, there's my finished treehouse. I think it looks really cool. I love the idea of doing the bold outlines with the marker and then coloring it in with the crayon. You can kind of see how that makes things pop even more. I can't wait to see what kind of creative things you guys put on your tree houses, guys.